What's good, wrestling fans? Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a topic that might just reshape how you view one of all elite wrestling's brightest stars, the AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. With her vintage Hollywood glamour, razor-sharp wit, and magnetic persona, Storm has taken the wrestling world by, well, storm. But is there more to this character than meets the eye? Beneath the black and white filter and dramatic flourishes, are there untold stories, lingering questions, or hidden truths waiting to be uncovered? Today, we're peeling back the layers to explore the phenomenon of Toni Storm, her rise, her character, and the buzz surrounding her reign. From her recent title defense to the rumors swirling about her future, let's get into it and see if the timeless Toni Storm we see on screen is the full picture. Toni Storm is fresh off a title defense at AEW Dynasty against Megan Bayne, a match that, if we're being honest, was solid but not spectacular. Storm sold her heart out, as she always does, while Bayne dominated much of the offense. It was a decent showing, but it didn't set the world on fire. Still, it kept Storm's reign intact, and AEW is clearly building towards something big. The promotion has its sights set on All In Texas on July 12th in Arlington, where Storm is expected to defend her Women's World Championship against the winner of the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. The finals for that tournament are slated for Double or Nothing on May 25th, and the wrestling world is buzzing with speculation about who'll emerge victorious. Most fans and insiders are betting on Mercedes Moné to run the gauntlet. The former Sasha Banks is a megastar, and many believe AEW is positioning her to steamroll through the tournament, win the finals, and earn a shot at Storm's title. If that happens, we're in for a blockbuster clash at All In. Moné vs. Storm has the potential to be a defining moment for AEW's women's division, a collision of two larger-than-life personalities with wildly different styles. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about why Toni Storm is the heart of this story and why her character has become such a lightning rod for discussion. In my opinion, Timeless Toni Storm is not only the best character in AEW but also one of the most compelling babyfaces in all of professional wrestling today. Her blend of retro charm, biting humor, and in-ring grit makes her a standout. She's not just playing a role, she's living it, and fans can feel the authenticity. But what makes her so special? To answer that, we need to look at a recent interview that shed new light on Storm's evolution and sparked some big questions about her place in wrestling history. In a conversation with Sports Illustrated, Saraya, a former AEW star and women's champion, showered Toni Storm with praise that was both heartfelt and thought-provoking. Saraya didn't hold back, calling Storm one of the best promos and characters of all time and one of her personal favorites in wrestling today. She highlighted how Storm has transformed over the past 2 years, going from someone who was scared to pick up a microphone to a performer who commands every scene she's in. According to Saraya, Storm's secret sauce is her all-in approach. Once you have a character in something that you're enjoying in wrestling, you want to put 100% of your mind, body, and soul into it. And she's doing that. Saraya also noted Storm's humility, quoting her as saying, "I hope I'm doing a good job." To which Saraya responded, "Babe, you're smashing it. You are the best thing in wrestling right now." That's a lot to unpack, so let's break it down. First, is Timeless Toni Storm really one of the best promos and characters of all time? That's a bold claim, but I'm inclined to agree, at least when it comes to her character work. Storm's transformation from her earlier, more straightforward persona to the timeless gimmick is nothing short of brilliant. She's taken a concept that could have been a one-note gimmick and turned it into a fully realized, multi-dimensional character. The old Hollywood aesthetic, complete with dramatic gestures and witty one-liners, feels fresh in a wrestling landscape often dominated by cookie-cutter archetypes. Her promos, while not always the traditional hype-up-the-match type, are endlessly entertaining. Storm's delivery is packed with personality, every line drips with charisma, whether she's throwing shade at an opponent or leaning into her full vintage theatrics. That said, I wouldn't call her promos the absolute best in wrestling history. They're more about wit and entertainment than building intense rivalries, which is fine but doesn't quite put her in the same league as, say, a Ric Flair or The Rock in their promo primes. Still, her character? Untouchable. I'd argue it's the best homegrown character AEW has ever produced. Let's not forget where Storm came from. During her first AEW Women's World Championship run, her character work was strong, but her matches often fell flat. Fans and critics alike noted that her in-ring psychology as a heel wasn't fully developed. Storm has historically thrived as a babyface, and her heel run felt like she was still finding her footing. Matches from that period, outside of her standout bout against Mariah May at All In, were often criticized for lacking the spark her character deserved, but since turning babyface again, Storm's in-ring game has leveled up significantly. Her matches now feel like an extension of her persona, polished, dramatic, and full of heart. This evolution speaks to Storm's dedication and adaptability. Soraya's point about Storm putting her mind, body, and soul into the character rings true. Whether it's working with creative minds like RJ City, who's helped shape the timeless gimmick, or taking acting lessons to hone her delivery, Storm has clearly invested in her craft. The result is a character that feels organic, not like something AEW's creative team forced into existence. Unlike some former WWE stars who carried their old gimmicks to AEW, Storm built timeless Toni from the ground up, and that's a testament to her talent. So, is she making wrestling fun and exciting, as Saraya claims? Absolutely. Storm's segments are must-watch TV, whether she's cutting a promo, hamming it up in a vignette, or stealing the show in the ring. She brings a lightness to AEW that balances out some of the promotion's darker or more serious storylines, like the divisive Death Rider arc involving Jon Moxley. Fans are vocal about wanting that storyline to wrap up, but Storm's presence keeps things fresh and engaging. Now, let's address the big question. Is Toni Storm the best thing in wrestling right now? That's where I'd pump the brakes a bit. In AEW, she's undoubtedly the top act. Will Ospreay, despite his incredible talent, has cooled off slightly due to inconsistent booking, and other storylines haven't captured the same magic. But across the broader wrestling landscape, it's tough to top the intrigue around WWE's biggest angles, like whether Jey Uso will dethrone Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, or if John Cena's rumored heel turn will see him challenge Cody Rhodes. Those stories have a global spotlight that AEW's reach can't quite match. Still, within AEW's ecosystem, Storm is the gold standard. Looking ahead, AEW faces some booking challenges with Storm, with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament taking center stage. Top women's talent is focused there, leaving Storm's next feud up in the air. Double or Nothing is just 6 weeks away, and it's unclear who she'll face or if she'll even be on the card. AEW's pay-per-views are notorious for their marathon runtimes, often stretching past 4 hours. So maybe it's not the worst thing if Storm sits this one out to preserve her aura, but if she does compete, it needs to be a match worthy of her character's stature. As for Saraya, her comments come as she's navigating her own path. Now a free agent after leaving AEW, she's promoting her autobiography and teasing a WWE return, possibly for an event like Evolution. Her praise for Storm feels genuine, not just promotional fluff. And it underscores why Storm's work resonates so deeply with peers and fans alike.